The broadcast is now starting. All play mode.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, and this is my Psychic Hour. I want to say thank you so much for being here with me this evening. I just returned from a cruise to Cuba and Key West. So if I look like I'm a little more relaxed than usual, it's because it was an absolutely wonderful, relaxing time. Anyone here who loves cruising, I strongly recommend that you put that on your bucket list. It was truly nice and wonderful to see Cuba for the very first time. So I'm very grateful to our government and their government for opening relations between the two countries again so that people like me can go and visit. So if there's anybody on here from Cuba this evening, I want to say thank you for being here too. And I loved your country. It was just gorgeous. So we are about to begin our Psychic Hour for May 2018. And I want to, from the bottom of my heart, say welcome to all of you loyal folks whose many names I recognize as I was looking through the people who've signed up today. And also all of you new people who are on this evening and are going to have some fun listening to this session for the first time. We do this monthly. It's always free. And it's my gift to you. And it's something I truly enjoy doing. I like coming together with you like this each month. I like being able to bring my guides in and your guides in to be able to get some really interesting information as we go through this hour. So I do have a couple of announcements that I'd like to make as we get started here. The first of those is that I do have, you can see it on the top of this chart, my entire tarot course, the entire thing, is now available for automatic download that you can actually take the class on your smartphone if you should like to be able to study that way. And even if you don't, you can go to the site that I have printed on the form right here on the screen. And even if you don't get the course, you can get my short tarot card meaning sheet. It'll just download. You just click a button, it downloads. And yes, I'm trying to sell you the course. But for those of you who want to learn tarot, and I've been doing tarot myself for, oh God, almost 40 years. At any rate, I highly recommend it for people who want to develop their own psychic skills. It's a great place to start. So feel free to go get your short tarot card meaning download and check out the course while you're there. You may just find that it's for you. My second announcement this evening, and it's about another course, I am teaching the Kabbalah Pathworking class again, beginning on June 6th. So if that's on your bucket list, and my friends, it should be, then join me online on June 6th. In order to sign up for that, you just go to my website, sandyanastasi.com, or contact my assistant, Lisa, at lisasainc@aol.com. I think that's your email for our folks to sign up with you, Lisa. And we'll tell you how to get signed up. Why do I teach Kabbalah Pathworking? My friends, it is the most important class, I believe, that I teach, because it is a way of achieving your higher consciousness access, your own path to your higher consciousness. Wherever you're at right now, no matter what's going on in your life right now, by taking the Pathworking classes, which are a series of guided visualizations that my guides and I help you to work through. I act as your guide, and there are also your own guides, angels, that you meet along the way. And we use the Kabbalah literally as a roadmap to higher consciousness. So everybody in the class will be starting at different points. Everybody in the class will be on their own Pathworking class. It's individual, but we're all together as we do this. And everybody in the class is going to advance at a phenomenal rate. And it's just eye-opening. It helps your psychic development. It helps your intuitive self. It helps you to connect with your guides. It helps you to be able to use your mind to create your world. It's like I said, the most fabulous class that I've ever taught. If you want to know more about it, you can read all about it on my website. Again, that's www.sandyanastasi.com. And I offer the class for an unbelievably low price. I also offer unbelievably unheard of payment plans for people who are on short options about being able to pay for things like education online. Why do I do that, folks? Because it's the most important class that I teach, because it's about your higher consciousness. It's about your evolution. So, onward. My next announcement, and I know a lot of you want to know when I am doing my next psychic cruise. I've already been having people call me, contact me, email me, when's the next psychic cruise? Well, folks, we have a date. It is May 2019. So once again, you can go to my website and you can contact Lisa. That's Lisa, S-A Inc. at AOL.com, and she'll tell you all about it. Okay, so I've got tons of good stuff coming up, and I really hope that one of these days I get to meet all of you in person. I also want you to put on your calendar right now that the next free psychic hour will be on June 24th. So write that in right now and sign up as soon as you're done listening to this, because you're going to want to be there as well. It's so much fun. Okay, here are some of the rules. First off, I did receive, as I always do, a few emails from people before this class asking questions. And I need to remind you, if you sent me an email or sent Lisa an email before the psychic hour, that email got flushed. We don't email people back who email us before the psychic hour. It's just too overwhelming. And we also don't ask those questions online because, unfortunately, we've had so many people who've asked their questions first, assuming they're going to be able to get the answer when they listen to the replay, because we do send it out to everyone who registers. And unfortunately, if you don't come and your question superseded somebody else's question who's here, that's just not fair. So if you want your question answered by my guides and I, you must ask it right here online. Everyone who's here also, and this is another little thing that I've added in over the years, if you have taken the time out of your very busy schedule to be here with me, well, I'm going to take the time out of my equally busy schedule to answer one question via email for everyone who's on this call this evening. So if you're on the call and you stay to the end and your hand didn't get called, you didn't get to ask your question, within 24 hours from until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, Eastern Time, I will be glad to answer that question. Just give me some time, because sometimes I get overwhelmed with my other work and it can take me a week or so to get back to you. So be patient, but you will get an answer provided you're actually here. So without any further ado, here are the rules, okay? Very easy. When Lisa calls on you, because she's the gal who is, you can contact her in the chat room, in fact. She's the gal who's on with me, and she will call on you when you raise your hand or when you put a question in the question box. So you can ask your question two ways. You can either raise your hand or you can put it in the question box. Lisa will call on you if she feels that you are new here. She'll give you a first chance. If she feels that there are a lot of people with a similar question to yours, she'll call on you, okay? So they're not necessarily going to be taken in the order that your hands went up. When she calls on you, here are the things that I want to know. First, your name, and second, where you're calling from, because we do get callers from all over the planet, and it would be so much fun for us to know where all of you folks are calling in from. So identify, the country, the state where you're calling from. And then I'd like to know what your sun sign is. You see this chart right here on the screen in front of you. That chart is called a horary astrology chart. And I cast one of these for every psychic hour. That horary chart will locate everyone who's here on the call with me. And so I can look at this astrology chart. My guides who are astrologers look at this astrology chart, and I can give you information about what's going on in your life and what's going to be happening in your near future, whatever your question is, by looking at this chart. It's pretty amazing. So give me your sun sign. So your name, where you're calling from, your sun sign, and please what you're most grateful for in your life right now. We want to know what you're most grateful for right now, because creating your future in a positive way starts with being grateful for everything that's good in your life right now. And then ask your question. So your name, where you're calling from, your sun sign, what you're grateful about, and then your question. Okay? And if you forget that, I'll remind you. So Lisa, who is our first caller?
All right, before we do that, I do want to make a slight correction. The cruise is actually going to be in April.
Oh, I have date wrong. My apologies. April.
Yeah, 13th, but I will send everybody out a little blurb on that so they can check out Sandy's cruise because it's phenomenal. This will be our 3rd year in a row to do this with Sandy, and oh my God, you just can't imagine. Okay, sorry, I get excited about the psychic cruise. It's just like the best week you have ever spent just doing nothing but being with Sandy and the group. Okay, so down to business. The first caller tonight is going to be Cindy. If I can unmute you.
Hello, Cindy.
Yeah, I'm having problems unmuting Cindy. There we go. Cindy?
Ooh, you've got a little reverberation here, but we'll try and work with it. Hello, Cindy. Good to meet you.
Hey, great to meet you guys. So my question was, okay, I wrote it down, so I'm kind of nervous to talk to you now. First of all, thank you for taking my question, and I'm sorry I have my niece calling me at the exact same time I'm trying to talk to you guys. I'm calling from Daphne, Alabama. I'm an Aries. I was born April 4th of '78. I'm okay. Sorry. Can you still hear me?
I can. What are you most grateful for?
You know, honestly, I'm most grateful to be able to talk to you guys and like-minded people. I was raised in a very different way, and I'm grateful that I personally have an open mind to be able to receive this kind of content and explore it. It's really healing and it's exciting for me.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Cindy, because I'm sure that a lot of other listeners on the call this evening feel the same way. So, Cindy, what is your question?
So my question is, do you believe that there will be a time that the collective consciousness will evolve to a point that humanity no longer has to repeat its history? Or maybe more specifically, do you believe that God has a plan in place to help us along with that?
Oh, I absolutely do. And Cindy, at the risk of sounding like I'm promoting my classes again, what you're really talking about here is my life work. And so people who are interested in this subject should be taking psychic development classes with me. They should be taking the Kabbalah pathworking classes with me. They should be going on to my website and looking up a class that I teach called Pathworking the Rays. They should also be taking another class I teach called Seeing Beyond the Veil. Now that I've said all those classes, why? Because I do absolutely believe that we get help from the other side in this most amazing way. All we have to do as individuals is direct our attention towards think of it as your highest good, okay? Wanting to know your own higher consciousness, wanting to know God, if you will. All we have to do is direct our attention in that way. And the universe is another word for God working through the universe, okay, begins to open doors for you that lead you to whatever it is that you're supposed to be learning and growing to in order to evolve to your own personal next step. Now, what's interesting is that when enough of us begin this process of evolution, of becoming more awake, more aware, more conscious, as more and more of us begin to do that, it creates literally an energetic current, and we begin to pull other people with us. So, is there a plan? Oh, absolutely. And if you look around you, you really are. In spite of the chaos we see in our world, we're seeing that plan in action. It's happening. Okay? Now, is it going to happen tomorrow? Well, evolution takes time. Could it happen tomorrow? Yes. If we all said yes and stepped forward into that new consciousness in one moment, it could happen for the entire planet in the blink of an eye. It's more likely that it's going to take a little while because it's kind of like domino effect. We're waking up like dominoes falling over. Okay?
Right.
That was a great question, Cindy. And I tried to kind of encapsulate it because obviously I could take 5 years of talking and still keep talking about that subject. So it was really a deep question. And
So
while
I did. Oh, sorry. I was going to say I did sign up for your Kabbalah class and the psychic development this week.
you are going to love
So
both of them. And if that's your personal next step, I'm rooting for you because they're both great steps.
thank you.
In the horary chart, I want all the Aries on the call and also all the other cardinal signs, the Cancers, the Capricorns, and the Libras to pay attention to this. Cindy is an Aries. Aries is part of this fourth house, if you can see where my cursor is, and part of the fifth house, which is, although they're in Taurus, holding Uranus and Mercury. I think it's kind of fun that she said that, well, I was brought up a little bit differently. Well, this fifth house is the house of the child, so that's how you were brought up. And in that house is Uranus, which is higher mind, and Mercury, which is communication. So it's very likely that your family was all telepathic and definitely people who thought out of the box. Okay.
Yeah.
And here it is showing right up here in our horary chart tonight. I always like to point that out because it's fun. But looking back at the fourth house where most of Aries is, Chiron, the healing planet. It's a planet, even though it's very tiny, and it does exist. It's between Saturn and Uranus, and it circles the sun. And this little planetoid is about family, and it's about healing the family. So maybe you had better make a note of that call from your niece because there's probably something involving healing the family involved with that call. Okay?
Stop.
This is what's going on in your life if you are an Aries. This is a time of healing. It's a time for embracing family values. It's a time for serving with boundaries. You understand what I mean when I say that? Being there, but making sure you set boundaries so that you don't get swallowed by the past. And
Right.
it also is a time for both being the child, giving yourself time to be childlike, but also for being the nurturing parent, giving that nurturing back to the universe. Now, because Aries is a cardinal sign, what I just said about Aries will in some way affect all of the other cardinal signs as well, Libra and Capricorn and Cancer. So make some notes on that, folks. And Cindy, thank you so very, very much. It was a pleasure to speak with you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you on.
Thank you. Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So who's our next caller?
Alrighty, our next caller is going to be Tracy.
I knew that.
If I can get her.
I don't know why, but I've been sitting here staring at Tracy's name for about the last 5 minutes. So, Tracy, talk to me.
Hi, I'm from North Carolina. I'm a Taurus, and today I'm grateful for my new job.
Awesome.
I'd been searching for a while to find a good opportunity, and I finally did. So I'm excited about that and grateful for that. But kind of despite that, I've just been feeling kind of down and dragging lately. And I'm not sure what that's about, and I keep trying to turn my attitude around and get more positive, but I'm just feeling kind of stuck and having a hard time doing that.
We have,
So I
yeah, Tracy, let me just interrupt you for a minute because
okay.
we've got a whole bunch of good stuff that's coming in here that I need to talk about. Okay, it comes right in. First off, because you're a Taurus, I want all of the fixed sign people to pay attention to this. Those are the Taurians, the Scorpios, the Leos, and the Aquarians. All of you guys, you've got to pay attention to what I'm about to say. This is very important. A lot of the sluggishness that you're feeling, and all of you fixed sign guys are feeling a little of this, are because the planet Neptune has recently gone retrograde. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Neptune is also, right now, Neptune's in Pisces, which is a mutable sign. And that mutability is affecting the Pisceans, the Geminis, the Virgos, okay, and the Sagittarians. So guess what? 8 signs of the zodiac right now are going through this sluggish time, okay? And here's the reason why. And I want to just kind of point this out. If you'll follow my cursor briefly, I love astrology.
Okay.
I can find my cursor. Here it is. You see it moving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's Pisces on the bottom of the chart.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bottom of our horary chart for tonight, and there's Neptune, which you can't see it here because there's no R next to it, but this has just recently gone or started to go retrograde. And it's in that house of communication, running around, thinking, thought. So what you may actually be finding, you folks, and me included, because I'm one of them, mutable sign Gemini, you may very well be finding that your mind is racing and your mind is worrying and your mind is thinking about this and this and this and this and this and this and this. It's scattering, okay? And it's consuming so much of your energy that you are being tired and sluggish and in that mood where it's really hard to pull yourself up and feel good about stuff, okay? Now, why is this happening in this fashion? Number one, because Neptune's in the house that represents your mind, your thinking mind. But also, and this is the big one that all the fixed sign people have to listen to, this little guy over here, Uranus, see it where my cursor is in the 5th house?
Mm-hmm.
That planet, see it's at 0 degrees? It has just entered Taurus like a week ago. Okay? So, this is going to change your life. Did you hear me?
Okay.
Taurus,
Yes.
Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. This is going to change your life. So, you should start keeping a diary as of May 16th, a couple of days ago. And
Okay.
you keep that diary, all you fixed guys, and all the rest of us too, because we all have some fixed planets somewhere. Keep that diary until August 6th. Because that is what we call Uranus's first ingress, its first step forward into Taurus. It's just come out of Aries. So, while we had her on the sign, or my last caller, we should have been asking her how crazy her life has been for the last 7 years. All you fixed sign people, did you hear that number 7? Uranus is going to be in your sun sign for 7 years. And for you, it's in your sun sign. For a Scorpio, it's opposing their sun sign. It's all the people they know are going to make them crazy. Okay? For Aquarius and Leo, it's a 90-degree angle from their sun sign. That means that every time they turn around, somebody's going to be throwing another block in their wheel. Okay?
Okay.
So all of you fixed sign people, hear this word, flexibility. Now, that actually is kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? Here I am telling these fixed sign people that they need to be flexible. Guess what? If you aren't flexible right now, by the time this transit's done, you are going to be so flexible, you're going to be like a piece of spaghetti. And you're going to be good at it. Okay? Now, are you beginning to understand why since Neptune's gone or just about to go retrograde, at the same time that Uranus is moving into your sun sign,
Okay.
so your brain is scattering. That's part of Uranus's activity. And you're thinking about a million things that have to be done at the same time. You don't know which one to do first. And
Mhm.
you're just thinking about it.
Mhm.
And you're knowing intuitively, because both of these planets, Uranus and Neptune, are very intuitive planets. You're knowing intuitively that change is coming. It's going
Mhm.
to get you. And is there any fixed sign person in the world who's ever anticipated change with a sense of delight? Of course not. You know, do you want new things? Absolutely. You love to get stuff. But do you want to give anything up to get the new stuff? Absolutely not. You know, bring it on. I can find a spot for it, right?
Mhm.
Okay? We're not talking about that kind of change. We're talking about the kind of change that says, if I want this new shiny thing over here, I've got to get rid of something over there that, gee, I'm really attached to that. And if you sit on the fence too long about it, the universe, i.e. God, is going to come along and take it away from you. Like the parent taking away the doll when you're supposed to have grown up and now you're supposed to be reading books.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that helping a little bit to explain some of these feelings?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I do feel just kind of lost with it and scattered and just,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Now,
you
the,
know.
the important thing is to keep that diary. And please don't get lazy about it and say, well, I'll remember. Really, keep a diary. Keep a
Okay.
diary about how you're feeling emotionally and physically. Keep
Okay.
a diary about the way you think about certain things and certain people. Keep a
Okay.
diary that particularly pays attention to all of the opportunities that come your way. And these
Okay.
could be opportunities that actually come your way, like this new job, or
Mhm.
it could be opportunities that somebody else is talking about, but your mind says, oh, that could be cool. Might make
Right.
note of it, do you see?
Mhm.
Opportunities that other people are getting that could affect your life if they take those opportunities. Make a note of them.
Okay.
So make a note of all these things, both things that happen, but also things that get talked about, because
Okay.
they're going to be coming at you like wildfire between now and August 6th, because you're getting this window. That's what it is, a window. Now, after
Okay.
August 6th, when Uranus retrogrades, that window goes away, and all the things you were dealing with last winter are going to come back. So
Okay.
hopefully they were good things, because they're coming back. But
Okay.
that's just window dressing. That's not real. That's temporary. And by the time we get to the late fall, you're going to be on this 7-year journey again. And all the things that you're seeing between now and August 6th are going to start coming back into your life, but they're going to come back more slowly. And,
Okay.
4 or 5 years from now, something's going to come up in conversation, or an opportunity is going to come along, or something's going to change in your life, and you're going to say, wow. And I knew about that all the way back in 2018.
Mhm.
That's how it's going to work, okay? It's kind of
Okay.
having a little preview. Now, one
Okay.
other comment about this, especially since in this chart, Uranus and Mercury are in the fifth house. The fifth house deals with children and it deals with romance. And
Okay.
Uranus deals with 2-year situations, 2 years. So if you have
Mhm.
children, you might have one of your children get into this really hot and heavy romance, but it ends just as quickly as it began 2 years later.
Okay.
Or one of them gets married, 2 years later, they have the baby. You see, it's
Okay.
2-year increments all through this 7-year period. So whatever you're starting now, especially if it relates to creativity, to children, or to a romance you're involved with yourself, something you might win, maybe your luck, all these things have to do with that fifth house. Anything
Okay.
that begins ends 2 years later. So
Okay.
if an opportunity comes your way and you think you want it, make sure you do it within that 2-year cycle. Otherwise, that one will go away.
Okay.
A new one might arise, but that goes away. So the bad thing about Uranus is the constant and incessant change. It's going to drive you nuts. The good thing
Okay.
about Uranus is, wow, what opportunities.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and by the way, here's your sun sign in Taurus in the house of work, which has just changed for you. And this
Mm-hmm.
is probably the thing that's going to kick off this entire Uranian transit of major shifts and changes in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're positive about it, they'll be positive. If you're
Okay.
negative and fearful, well, guess what you're going to get?
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah, did that
Yeah.
answer your question, I hope?
Yes. Thank you.
Good. Hey, thank you. I love that question. That was great.
Mhm.
Okay, and who else has a question, Lisa? I think I'm
All
starting to scare them away.
I'm going to apologize because I'm sure I'm not going to pronounce this name correctly. But I'm going to try. Amandine. I hope. I'm trying to unmute you. You're unmuted.
Hello?
Hi there. And
Hi.
how do we pronounce your name? It's lovely.
Amandine. Amandine. But you can call me whatever. It's very French.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, so yeah, oh my God, what am I talking? I'm in Maine
Uh-huh.
and and what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my family who has supported me these past yes, almost 8 years that I've been in the States. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm an international student in the States. And yeah, so that's it.
And what's your sun sign?
Oh, I'm a Libra.
Okay.
September 25th of 1990.
Oh boy, here you are. Remember what I said about Libra? Here's Libra up here in
Yes.
the 11th house. Friends,
Mm-hmm.
groups, organizations, belief systems, and most of Libra is the first 20 degrees is here in the 10th house. You're getting close to
Mm-hmm.
graduating, aren't you?
I'm sorry?
You're getting close to graduating, aren't you?
I have, and I haven't secured a job.
No, believe me, that's coming because this 10th house is where most of Libra is. 20 degrees of Libra is up in here. And this is
Yes.
about your career. This is about career.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And so,
It's been very stressful.
hmm, you know,
It's been stressful.
yeah, but you know why it's been stressful and it's going to get more stressful. I'm sorry, I'm not going to, I don't sugarcoat things. Are you getting that?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
The reason it's going to get more stressful is because Libra is the sign that opposes Uranus. That's just, look at that. The last 7 years, okay,
Yes.
that was exactly when Uranus was going through the opposition to your sun sign. So
Mm-hmm.
everything that, the first caller is moving in. She just came out of her 7 year craziness, or 8 years, 7.5 years. The
Oh
second
my God.
caller is just beginning her 7 or 8 years of craziness. And
Mm-hmm.
you're also just ending your 7 or 8 years of craziness. Except, you see this Jupiter up here in Scorpio? You
Yes, yes.
that is in the house that has Libra on it. And so that says that your job is likely going to encompass travel. There's probably going to be,
Yes.
yep, there's going to be more education. The education's not ending now. You only thought it was. And yep, the stress is going to continue, but it's going to be a different kind of stress. And the
Mm-hmm.
most important thing for you to learn and learn quickly is money management. You got it? So if you can take some classes or go online or sit with, an accountant who can
Mm-hmm.
help you to work up a budget and balance your finances, because I get this really powerful feeling, guidance is coming in that says you're pretty much going to be, even though you might be working for someone or for multiple people, you're an independent contractor type of an energy. Okay, where you're going to be on your
Mm-hmm.
own. You're going to be handling things independently, and so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to really be good at balancing your finances. Very, very
Oh
important.
my God.
Don't
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I believe me, Lisa is sitting there laughing because she watches.
I'm bad with money management.
Okay? You want to focus on your work, and you want to focus on the helping people and the making all this happen and making the connections between people that you're going to make. But in the back of your mind has to be balancing the finances, what money you can spend, what money you can't spend, who gets what, where it goes, you see? And that's the part that you don't want to do.
Yes.
You can't be successful unless you do it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay?
I'm taking notes. Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the job is concerned, you want to know when you're going to be landing that job. And my guides are telling me two things that you need to know. If you continue doing what you're doing right now, you aren't going to land the job. You're going to keep running in place. And there are two things that are stopping you right now. The biggest one, I'm going to show you the cards that I just pulled. The biggest one isn't a one, it's a him. Okay? On the left side, I'm showing you a King of Wands who's inverted. That is the man in your life. And on the right side is the Chariot inverted. That is unwillingness to travel. So, whether or not you're aware of it, the man in your life, or the man you want to be in your life, doesn't want you to travel. And you, in fact, may be resisting unconsciously the traveling, the moving around, because you don't want to, bamboozle that relationship. That must be dealt with in your heart and your mind. You've got to come, you can't keep sitting on the fence. You've got to say, I'm not going to do this. Do you see? You cannot let the relationship get in the way of your future, or you have to let go of the future you think you want and choose the future that he wants.
Yes, can I give you a quick feedback? It's because I'm a foreign student and, things are a little different for us as far as getting jobs, and you have to get a job within your field. So I graduated with my master's and I'm volunteering now at the university I graduated from, but it's my mom that wants me here. I actually would like to travel, if that makes sense, because I have a sibling here. She would love me to be close to her. But things are more difficult if I stay here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It absolutely
Yes.
does. And
Yes.
here's the thing, though, that if you're going to embrace your career and get it off the ground and make it work, you're going to have to give up that security.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
otherwise, you're continuing to run in place, okay? And,
Yes, yes.
and basically, nothing really happens. And I have to say, I'm not going to blame this all on Mom. I know, you say I want to travel, but
It's true.
my guide said you're also very afraid of leaving the security.
Oh.
Okay, and
Because I depend on parents. I depend on my parents at the moment. So
right, but I just for a moment, imagine that if you continue to, there's nothing. I don't want to pass any judgment. Okay.
yes, yes, yes. I know.
But if you continue to work at the place that you're working, the college that you graduated from, boy, oh boy, is that a wonderful safety zone. And you've had the craziness and the upheaval and the tension of the last 8 years, and you're finally feeling like you can take a breath. And it's secure and it's safe. And even though you're not getting paid, your family can still support you. And you can take this breath, and guess what? You can take this breath as long as you want. When I asked my guides, would you ever be able to secure an actual, I'm paid for position at that university? My guides are saying that probably not, but if you continued to be there and looked at the different options that will come up, because there will be opportunities to take other classes and move in other directions, and you might be able to move into a direction that would give you some salary somewhere over the next 3 years. So there's potential for you to make that work, but it's not what you wanted for yourself. You see?
I don't want to. I don't want to stay there. I'm not happy.
And if you want to do what your heart wants you to do, that means giving up the safety. And imagine that you are multilingual. And my guides are telling me this isn't just, I'm assuming Spanish. I don't have a good ear for accents, but the Caribbean is mostly Spanish. So I'm assuming
I'm a French speaker.
Okay, French.
But I do speak Spanish.
Yeah, so you've got 3 languages, and there's a 4th there, isn't it? What's the 4th?
Creole.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what they're showing me is that you're multilingual and you have the ear to pick up other languages. So you have got the potential to be able to work for a company or a government that would require somebody who has that multilingual capability. And you're not just multilingual where you can understand and shake your head like I am. Yeah, I think I understood the word. You're fluent in all of these languages, just as you are in.
Yes, that's true.
So take advantage, use that as your stepping stone along with what you've studied to be able to get into. I keep hearing business. I keep hearing business. And I know business isn't what you're saying. It's not like, wow, I'm not good at business. But my
I did want to do my MBA at the time, but I ended up just doing a master's in global policy, global affairs.
do business.
So yes.
You need business. So while you're sitting there figuring it out, working for the university for free, get them to give you a break on the business courses. Okay?
Mhm.
Get that business degree because you will need it to be able to step into the position that's going to take you, guess what? All over the globe. The travel is there and the future is there and the career is there, but you've got to get your ducks in order and you have to get past the fear of being insecure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
And Lisa, who is next?
Alrighty, our next victim tonight, I haven't used that word yet, is going to be Jennifer. There you go.
Hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Um, I'm a Virgo. I'm from Long Island, and
I'm
I'm
alma
just
mater.
curious. Oh, I'm great. I'm actually grateful for my parents. They'll be coming up from Florida this summer, and I can't wait to see them. I have a question. Where do you see my career going? You know, any changes? Because I feel like I'm kind of stagnant right now.
You know, I just love when my horary chart comes to life. Did everybody hear that she just asked where is her career going? And she's a Virgo. And here is the career house, the 10th house in the horary chart with Virgo on the cusp. How do you like that? Isn't that a surprise?
That's perfect.
So we know that your question is going to relate to career. And also you've got some concerns about your father, don't you? Because this is also the house of the father.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to steer off the career for a moment.
Okay.
Has your dad been having any problems with his circulation, his heart, his breathing?
Yes, his pulse or something was really low. He's actually very athletic,
Yeah,
so they said it was due to that. But he is older,
yeah,
so I do have concerns.
yeah. You need
Um,
to really keep an eye on that. And you said they're coming
okay.
to visit you during the summer. Um,
Yes.
I'm just double checking that, and yes, the answer is they will be visiting you. I wanted to double check that because what my guides are telling me is that he is at risk for a heart attack, a cardiac arrest. There's the risk here.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
probably he's getting issues where he's getting palpitations, or he's having trouble catching his breath, but it goes away, or there's a tightness,
Okay.
but then it goes away, and he thinks it's just a muscle cramp. So something's brewing there, and
Okay.
grateful that they're coming to see you because when they come to see you, apparently either you are in the medical field yourself or you're close to someone who is because they can keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Okay? And, you know, you're going to be able to look at some of the symptoms he's having if you can get him to talk about them. Well, and by the way, once
Okay.
you get him to talk, he's not hiding. It's going to be like, you know, he's going to tell you
Yeah.
what you want to know about his health. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, he's not going to hold
he's a health freak. Yeah.
the thing is that you know your mom is
Mhm.
incredibly worried about this far more than you realize, and this is
Okay.
putting pressure on her heart as well. You got it.
Okay.
So you have
Yes.
parents right now who are really in need of your help, and I think it's very nice
Yeah.
that they're going to come to Long Island so you can give it. Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of
Yeah, I feel kind of like they're caretakers.
yeah, well, and I believe me, I understand when you have a parent who's separated from you by so many states, it's difficult to actually be the caretaker that you want to be. And you're a
Yes.
Virgo. You were born a caretaker. It's what you know how to do
Yeah.
best. So, like I said, I'm grateful they're going to be up there, and I do think, you're going to be able to get them in touch with the people or get them to pay attention to the things they need to pay attention to be able to get them to straighten out and live this next part of their lives in a healthy way instead of in a I'm afraid of what tomorrow is going to bring kind of way, which is where they're at right now. Okay.
Okay, great.
Now, as far as the job is concerned, around the time that they're coming up, you're either going to be
Hmm.
starting a new job or you're going to be in the throes of looking for that new job. So it's going
Yes.
to be making it a little bit difficult for you to pay attention to them while you're doing all the stuff you need to be doing with work. So since you
Okay.
know that's coming in advance, would you
Hmm.
pre-plan it? Okay. And then you can take something which would be, unpleasant and tension filled and turn it into something which is joyful. So plan days that you know you have to have for searching the work out. Plan days that your parents are going to be with other people that can look out for them and entertain them. Plan all this stuff
Okay.
ahead of time. And then you'll be able to make all this happen really smoothly. You'll be able to be their caretaker, be there for them, and still be looking for that job. Okay? My guides are telling
Okay.
me that, I wish I could say differently, but, I don't know if the job you're in right now, you've been for a long time. They're telling me, yeah, a lot longer than you wanted to be. But it's almost like
Yes.
you were told going in that that job would be something that it never turned out to be. So, guess what?
Yeah.
You've hung in there a lot longer than somebody else would have. Okay. And
Hmm.
even now, you're like, well, should I really be looking for another job after all? They need me. They really need me. I've had it. I want to be able to fulfill what I'm capable of, but they really need me.
Yeah.
Telling you, guess what? You can be there as long as you want. They are not going to ever fire you because they need you. But
Yeah.
are they going to let you move in the direction that you really wanted to grow into? No, because they need you where you are. Are you getting it?
Yeah. Makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
So the one thing is, the only way you could change this scenario and still stay in the company you're with is if
Uh-huh.
you went back to school and presented them with the degree and said, hey, look, I'm at this next level. I need to be rewarded or I'm going elsewhere. And
Okay.
then they would. But if that requires getting the education. Okay.
Okay.
The other thing is to go and look for a job with a different company and say, hey, look, I've got X number of years experiences. I have all these letters of recommendation. What are you willing to pay me?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You're in a good place. You just have to convince yourself it's good instead of being so uncomfortable with it. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you,
Up to you.
Sandy.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
And Lisa, who's next?
Alrighty, well, the next person on my list is going to be Ellen. These unmute buttons don't want to work for me a minute. There you go, Ellen, you're unmuted.
Hi, sorry it took a second.
Hello. How are you this evening?
I'm excellent. And I am Ellen from Florida, and I am most grateful for my daughter and the relationship that we have. And I am another Virgo.
Okay, well, you already got a big part of what's going on here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and one thing I want to add to that is down here, and this was kind of reflected in what I spoke to my last caller about as well. But down here in the house of family, the fourth house, also house of the mother, is Chiron, that healing planetoid in Aries. So just like she has parents that she has issues with, health wise, well, you also have someone in your life, probably a mother figure, who is having health issues right now. Okay?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
this is important. I hope that my last call is still listening because this Chiron in Aries says it's very important for you to make that gal aware that she needs to be responsible for her own health. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So you can you can do things like point her in the right direction. You can give her the name of a doctor. You can even drive her to the doctor if she asked you to, but you cannot make her take the medication. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? She has to become self-responsible. And I think the key for both your mom and also my last caller's mom, the key here is to recognize that I'm the one who's got to look out for myself.
Okay.
Once that gets through, now of course you're going to help. Of course it's your nature. You're a healer. You're the person who wants to be there. But you're also learning that you have to be able to back off and trust that once they know what they need to do, the person with the health problem will do it. Because
Okay.
you can't be there to breathe for her. You understand?
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's real important. And I think once, in both of these situations, once that gal realizes that get this, she's allowed to look after herself. Isn't that weird? There's this
Yeah.
feeling like everybody's supposed to take care of me. No,
Uh-huh.
you're allowed to look care of you. You can do it better for yourself. You've got pain in your elbow. You don't have to wait for somebody else to say, "Why don't you do something about your elbow?" You're allowed to say, "My elbow hurts. I'm going to the doctor." You're allowed to
Mhm.
do it. Okay, and so make sure she's aware of that. That she knows what's going on in her body. She knows it, and she's allowed
Okay.
to speak up, and she's allowed to get treatment. Am I making sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? Because this is where healing lies for her. And guess what? It also sets you free in that you can now be there in all the wonderful ways you can be there without feeling frustrated that you're not God. Okay?
All right.
Okay. So, what is your specific question?
My specific question is that for about a year and a half now, I have been gaining weight, and I started on a thyroid medication, so I'm trying to balance that, and they keep changing the dosage on it. And I haven't been able to exercise as much because I've had some problems with my hips. So I'm not sure if it's the lack of exercise I'm having, if it's the thyroid medication, or if it's a diet change, something specific I'm eating. I don't know what it is that I'm doing that my weight keeps increasing. So I would like to know what I can do to decrease my weight.
And how old are you?
57. I'll be 58 in August.
Okay. Um, so, welcome to the world of being postmenopausal. And okay, and guess what? We all make it through. Okay. Um, boy, oh boy, do I want you to read and read and read and read, because what you're experiencing it's from a lot of different causes, which you already are recognizing. It's not like you can throw it under one heading and say, okay, this is the cause. It's a lot of different.
Right.
Our food right now is laced with so much artificial garbage, from GMOs to you name it. And most of the things that are in there are actually, number one, causing you to be addicted to eating things you shouldn't be doing. They're causing
Hmm.
you to have, all kinds of things like outbursts of yeast candida. They're causing you to have more of an imbalance in your hormones than you should normally be having, because all the additives in food end up putting too much estrogen in your system, and your hormones become imbalanced, which causes
Mm.
the hormone imbalance in your thyroid. Um, there are so many books that have been written on this right now. It's like, okay, which one should come through? But I think the estrogen alternative, which is an old book, but really gives you a good understanding of how the female hormones work and how they interconnect with the thyroid. And by the way, if you don't get that balance, the next place is the heart. It goes from imbalance of estrogen progesterone, which most of us have these days because of all the food additives, and then it goes to thyroid, men too, by the way, and then it goes to heart. Bam, bam, bam. Okay? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but there are so many other things that also come in. I mean, that's probably the big one, but there are other things that come in as well. So my suggestion is, rather than going to, the thyroid specialist because of your weight gain, my suggestion is to go to, guess what? A person who specializes in natural weight loss. Look
Okay.
them up. Okay, they're growing and multiplying. And who are these people? These are the people. Find a good one. These are the people who are getting educations in all the things I was just throwing at you that my guides were feeding me. Okay, they're out
Hmm.
there actually studying this stuff, and they know what foods you shouldn't eat, and they know what foods you should eat, and they know what foods you should be eating at what times of the day. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I mean, this is all, it can get very, very complex. And why are we in this situation right now? Because we're like 3 or 4 generations into lacing everything in our environment with chemicals. And
Hmm.
your body can't process them properly.
Hmm.
Okay? So one of the big things on your list is also going to need to be detox.
Okay.
Okay? Hope that helps. And I wish I could give you names of doctors in your area. The only thing I can tell you is that it's more and more easy to find them all the time.
Okay.
Look up, weight loss doctor or doctor specializing in weight loss. And I would definitely work with a medical doctor or a holistic health practitioner that has, all kinds of health credentials behind their name, because you don't want to deal with somebody who just is a, gee, I've read this book person. Okay?
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you very much.
This is going to affect so much in your life. It really is. It's not, the weight gain that you've experienced is actually a symptom. It's a symptom. But your mind has gotten fuzzier. Your,
Yeah.
you've developed allergies.
Uh-huh.
Breathing isn't clear. Your circulation is, pardon me, but it's crappy. In your hands and your feet. It's like a pre-diabetic condition. You've got all this garbage stuff going on, and
Yeah, I know.
you don't have to have it. You don't have to have any of that. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And my daughter just suggested a diet that she's on. What do you think about that for me?
I think that you can lose weight on it. You've got great willpower, so you can lose weight on it. But the diet alone isn't going to correct all those other issues. You see?
Okay.
See,
Uh-huh.
what my guys are saying that you need to do, you need to be a Virgo about it. Get it on the let's eat organic foods. Let's buy organic eggs. Let's have no GMOs in our house. Let's cut out all the sugar or all the fructose. This is kind of cool. Your daughter's sprouting some of this stuff, by the way, which is good. But you need to take it a step further. You need to become your own expert on this. Okay, and
Hmm.
you need to start it by doing it under a doctor's care. But her concept, your daughter's concept, that type of diet is going to work for you.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
good luck. And again,
Thank
another great question, because I have a feeling that we've probably got 20 people on this call who all wanted to know about that. So I'm grateful. Thank you. That's what I'm grateful for. Good questions tonight. Thank you. And Lisa, I think I have time for just one more caller this evening.
I take bribes. Who wants to be the last caller? I'm going to go to a person, bless her heart, she is here every week, and I hardly ever get to call on her, and we're going to tonight. Janet, if I can get you unmuted.
Hi, Janet.
I haven't got her unmuted yet. Janet, it says you're self-muted. Can you click on your end?
She's doing something, because I'm seeing this little triangle go up and down.
Yeah, it's not letting me unmute her.
I got her. See, I'm
Nope,
doing
that's
something.
me. That's the wrong person, Sandy.
Oh, which Janet is it?
It's one above. You press Jean. Try Janet right above.
Yeah, it does. It says she's self-muted. Actually, you're muted by an organizer, too. Okay, now you're only self-muted. Janet, hit your mic. No, that's not your mic. She's trying, Lisa. Oh, there you
Well,
go. Hi.
oh my gosh, it kept disappearing. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Now, that goes to show you that when we have teamwork, we can do anything.
Yeah, it's always me. I can never get that mic. um, I think I was on the cruise, but I'm from Brockway, Pennsylvania. I'm a Pisces, and I'm grateful for all the blessings that I get.
Yeah, I remember you well. It was a pleasure to meet you then and now. And it's going to be a pleasure to be on the cruise with you next April.
Yes, I'm hoping to make it. Maybe it'll be better for me this time. I won't be so stressed.
It'll be old hat. We're going on a Royal
Yeah.
Caribbean. It's a Royal Caribbean, okay? And
Yes, I got that.
I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but one of our destinations is Belize.
Yes, I've seen that. That actually sounds very fun.
Maya. One of them is Cozumel. So we're going to have this very, really, really, really nice time on board, and you're going to love the Royal
Yeah.
Caribbean. I think personally, I'm a fan of Royal Caribbean, so I'm glad that we're going to be back on that line. At any rate,
Yeah. I'm planning to
it. I'm dead
Okay.
ready. So, what's your sun's
My
sign?
question is, I'm a Pisces.
Okay, pardon.
And
Here we
my
are,
question
right down here.
is how is my future going to be here, in my near future, I guess?
You're
What
near.
do you see?
That's sort of broad.
Okay, well, I seem to ask you this all the time, but it's basically about career.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wing it and let all the Pisceans and all the Virgos and all the Geminis and Sagittarius get a sneaky peek here. Pisces comes in on the fourth house cusp of this chart, which is interesting because that's the foundation of our whole episode this evening. It's all about intuition. It's all about sensitivity. It's all about getting a balance between cognizance, between your mind working clearly and your intuition being able to balance. There are some of you who are on this call who are those mutable signs, probably most of you included, who are having issues with drugs and alcohol in your life because Pisces rules addictions of all kinds. If not drugs or alcohol, food, sex, think of the addiction. And
Okay.
Neptune, which is in Pisces, it's 16 degrees. It's only 4 degrees away from this point. So this whole issue of dealing with your psychism, your intuition, your creativity, that's improving. But as it improves, so are the issues in your life that have to do with enabling and addiction. Okay?
Okay.
And you've got to address those issues in yourself. You've got to address them in your family. You've got to address them in the world around you and take a stand on it. You've got to set some boundaries. Why? Because you aren't going to be able, this is important, you aren't going to be able to embrace the totality of what is coming for you in terms of your spiritual, your emotional, your intellectual steps forward, expansion of self. You're not going to be able to embrace that and continue this journey of becoming that you are on that's so important for you unless you address the addiction, enabling, running away from problems, hiding, all the negative sides. The negative sides of Neptune have to be addressed before you can do the positive sides. And boy, they're worthwhile. They're just so worthwhile. That's not just for you.
Oh, yeah.
For you, that's for the Geminis, the Sagittarians, and the Virgos on the call. You've got to look at your life. What's dragging you down? What's holding you back? It could be something within yourself. It could be a job. It could be somebody in the family. It could be some attitudes. It could be some psychological conditioning you have. Whatever these things are that are burdening you and weighing you down, it's time to address them, to set boundaries. It's time to heal. Put them in your past and move forward.
Okay. That sounds about right. I need to do that.
Yeah, and so do all the other mutable signs here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hope that helps.
I really appreciate it. I sure do.
Good luck.
All right. Well, I'll hope to talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Maybe I'll get picks next time. Hey, thank you so much.
And I'm so glad you're here again. Good to see you again. Hey, everyone, I want to say thank you so much for being here with me this evening. I love you all. I'm so excited when I do this once a month. Remember, our next psychic hour is going to be June 6th. I can't wait to give you more information and more insights then. I always get a kick out of this myself. What's coming through next? You never know. And bring your questions. And remember, let me leave you with this. The Kabbalah Pathworking class starts on June 6th. I hope to see you then. The next the next psychic hour is June 24th. I'm sorry, it wasn't the 6th, it's June 24th. And that psychic cruise, put it on your calendar, next April 2019. And folks, if you have a question and did not get called on this evening, just drop me a note or send it to Lisa and she'll forward it to me anytime between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Folks, it's been so great to see all of you here. I wish you much love. Good night.